All right, so the man responsible for today's shooting spree, James Hodgkinson. He died earlier today after Capitol Hill police officers wounded him. Now, he targeted Republican members while they were actually practicing for an annual congressional baseball game. And according to reports, Hodgkinson is an Illinois resident and, by the way, a staunch left-wing liberal leftist with an apparent hatred for all things Republican, conservative, and especially President Trump. And by the way, reportedly belonged to a group called Terminate the Republican Party, a Facebook group. Now, during the 2016 campaign, he allegedly volunteered for presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders and his run for the presidency. Earlier today, this is what Senator Sanders had to say about this evil man. Take a look.
Madam President, I have just been informed that the alleged shooter at the Republican baseball practice this morning is someone who apparently volunteered on my presidential campaign. I am sickened by this despicable act, and let me be as clear as I can be. Violence of any kind is unacceptable in our society, and I condemn this action in the strongest possible terms.
Now, Senator Sanders, he was not responsible, but he did do the right thing, denouncing this gunman. And of course, look, we're not naive. We know this man does not represent all Bernie Sanders supporters. And by the way, on this show, guess what? We're not going to stoop as low as, you may remember, former President Bill Clinton back in the 1990s. He blamed talk radio. He blamed Rush Limbaugh. Remember for the Oklahoma City bombing? We won't do that here. Tonight, the biggest issue we need to address as a country is what is a record level of vicious left-wing hate that is being spewed day after day, hour after hour by a left-wing news media that wants to destroy the president. Liberals all across the country. For example, just this week, remember the opening night performance? Shakespeare in the Park, Julius Caesar, New York City, Central Park. What did it feature? A Donald Trump lookalike getting brutally stabbed and murdered. By the way, taxpayer dollars funded that, in part. But that's not all. My next example is beyond graphic. Before we put it up on the screen, give yourself a little time in case your kids are in the room. Remember comedian, so-called comedian, Kathy Griffin, and she put this fake, bloodied, severed head of President Trump as part of what? Looking like a disgusting ISIS-style photo shoot. And you might also recall this vile rant from Madonna back in January. Take a look.
And to our detractors that insist that this march will never add up to anything, you. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I am outraged. Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
And before Madonna's infamous rant about, well, I've thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House, remember this music video from the rapper Snoop Dogg, where he actually pretends to shoot President Trump with a fake gun. Take a look. I could spend hours on this program giving example after example of these left-wing celebrities, these Trump detractors glorifying violence against the President of the United States, and virtually no one on the left has denounced this vile behavior, especially Soros Clinton groups that attack conservatives for everything they can say. Now, what can we expect, by the way, from a party that has every election season alleged, like Barack Obama did. Remember, Republicans want dirty air and dirty water. Oh, and Paul Ryan lookalikes throwing Granny over the cliff, and Republicans are racist and sexist and misogynistic and Islamophobic and homophobic and xenophobic every single election season. When Democrats continue to dehumanize Republicans and paint them as monsters day in and day out, year in and year out, well, the climate around the country, it becomes more than toxic. And the tragic results, of course, follow. We continue.